Today I'm going to be tackling this. It is pretty bad. My food storage or prepper pantry, whatever you want to call it. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First, I'm going to go ahead and start by just clearing off the floor. We've gotten into the habit of being kind of lazy and just dropping our bags of groceries onto the ground and not actually putting them away. So here I am just taking everything out of the bag, breaking down some boxes, clearing the floor so that I have some space to get to work. The back of the room was so crowded, I could hardly even walk back there. So I'm just gonna clear up some more stuff here. As I'm going along, I'm just checking everything for expiration dates. There was definitely way too many things that were expired. Some of the items have recently been expired, so I'm just gonna go ahead and keep some of those, but there was definitely a lot that I needed to throw away, unfortunately. All right, now that the floor is mostly cleared up, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on clearing off the shelves, getting them cleaned down, and organizing them. The top shelf here has some of our emergency backpacks. It's been a long time since I've gone through them, so it's a good time for me to go through them now. There was some that were empty, which that's not going to be useful to us. This little box has 72-hour kits that I started preparing years ago, but a lot of the food expired. I didn't rotate through it, so I need to do better at that as well. This backpack is actually one that is kind of useful. I packed some clothes in here for my daughters and some for myself as well. Some of them are really worn out, like a pair of the elastic wore out on these, and then 2 pairs of jeans that are just too small for me, so I'm going to go ahead and donate those. The problem is that I didn't get anything ready for my 2 boys or my husband, so they're going to be out of luck. No, just kidding. I really need to work on getting us all clothes and that we can all be prepared if there's an emergency. I had really good intentions for these 72-hour kits. I bought so much stuff and I got them all packed. I didn't actually finish them completely, but I had a lot of stuff. The only thing is that I definitely didn't use them up in time. My plan was to rotate them, to use up the food, and then to replace them with new food. But all of these items have expired. The only ones that I was questioning was the instant oatmeal. So I did keep those. I'm not sure if those expire or not, but I had to throw away all of this and it was really disappointing, but that's just life and I just need to move on. We are really lucky because we have 2 peach trees in our backyard that make the most delicious, juicy, amazing, sweet peaches. They're just so good. I don't know the variety. I wish I did. We are able to eat as many fresh peaches as we want, and I'm still able to bottle a ton. This is still going to last us 6 more months, so that's awesome. I'm just putting a couple here in this box in order to take upstairs because I know that I am out of them upstairs. I also can pears. We actually just buy these from a fruit stand close by. They're from Washington, I believe, but they are amazing. They're so good, and we've obviously gone through quite a bit of those. I was really excited to have this extra space here until I realized that I had a whole nother case of pears, another 12 bottles, so just needed to add them here, but luckily I still have quite a bit of space left. I also wanted to be able to group like items, so I wanted to stick all of the canned fruit here on the top shelf. I also wanted to mention how much I love these shelves. They're metal, they're really strong, and they hold a lot. As you can see, I've got a lot of canned food here. They hold it no problem. The only thing that I need to try and fix is to add something on the front to hold all the cans in case of an earthquake. We had one a couple years ago Luckily, nothing fell off, which was amazing, but you never know for the future. So I've got to figure out something to put here on the front. So if you have a suggestion, I don't know if there's something that you do with shelves like these to contain all the jars, I would love any advice or tips. All right, here I have 6 cans or so of some chili sauce that I made in 2015, a long time ago. I decided that that's probably too long. I think it's 5 years. So I decided to throw those out and reuse the jars. Unfortunately, these canned beans I really don't like. We really do like canned beans, but this particular kitchen sliced green beans, they just weren't good, and it expired like a year and a half ago. So I have quite a few here, and I was really disappointed, but we just don't eat them. So those are going in the garbage as well. As I'm going through the food, I just wanted to make note of the items that I'm out of or low on so that I can get those purchased next time I go to the store. Here's some more items that I canned back in 2015. Some jalapenos. I'm not exactly sure why we didn't really like them, but we didn't. So those are gonna go as well. Last year for Christmas, my in-laws gave us this really time-consuming, amazing gift of bottled beef, which we really love. We bottled it in the past before, but we use it to make stroganoff. I also have a bunch of canned chicken. I have a couple bottles here left from 2020. I'm not too concerned about these 2 that I jarred. We actually really like them, so I'm going to put those in the container to take upstairs as well. I have a ridiculous amount of jars. As you can see here, this is just a little portion of them. I wanted to try and get them organized. I was trying to put all the quart jars here and then moving all the pint jars and the half-pint jars and stuff over to the other shelf. I have a lot of empty ones this year because I just had a hard time with my garden this last summer. There was a lot of diseases and pests. I was feeling really overwhelmed on trying to keep up on it. So I actually really didn't can as much as I wanted to. So I'm going to keep these jars just in case this year is different, maybe even the next year is different, and I can be able to get more canning done. My favorite thing to can by far is this grape juice. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Some of it makes this light purple and some makes dark purple, but both of them are actually Concord grapes. My mother-in-law has both kinds, so it's kind of fun to see what color we get. But oh my gosh, we absolutely love it. We just mix 1 bottle with a bottle of water and some sugar. We just devour it. It's so good. Here I was trying to move the other quart jars that are on this side to the other side. Oh, look at this one. It actually has a marble in it. That's wonderful. So that's gonna go back in the toys. Anyway, I tried to move them all over here, ended up having way too many that wouldn't fit. I wasn't about to move them all back. I decided just to keep them here. Next year, I will have probably food there, so it's not a big deal. My perfectionism is kind of kicking in here, and I wish that they were all together, but I didn't want to go through the extra work of trying to get them put together in the same spot. Down here, I have some water stored for emergencies, and then just some drinks. We don't usually buy drinks often, so this isn't filled up very much, but oh, again, here's my perfectionism kicking in. I needed to have the little bottled water next to the big bottled water. Anyway, this is where I like to store our drinks. All right, now I decided to try and stack a bunch of the pint jars here. I like to put the wide mouth on the bottom so that I can be able to stick these narrow ones up on the top and they fit perfectly together. Not exactly sure where this fun jar came from, but it actually says not for product, and the only reason I would use it is for canning, so I'm just gonna go ahead and donate that one. Here is the other shelf that holds all the other quart jars. Like I said, they just didn't fit on the other shelf and I didn't want to remove them and put them back on. I also had more pint jars to put on here as well. Those didn't go with the other ones either. Again, I just have to let go of my perfectionism and just be okay with how I did it here. So this shelf kind of has a mishmash of a bunch of stuff. It was one that was feeling really overwhelming because I didn't know what to do with half of it. So I decided just to pick this one little bucket. Actually, it is a pitcher, but I use it as a little container to store the stuff. And I just took everything out and decided what to do with it. Here I have a huge bag of lids for canning. I kind of stocked up. So I wanted to put all of the lids together in one bucket and all of the rings as well. So I just found this bucket and I'm just gonna load it up with all of the lids and rings. I haven't used these in years. I have a set that goes with, that has one big one and then there was 4 small ones. Excuse me. And I only put one in the middle of it and then put the vegetables and stuff around it. So I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna go ahead and donate these. Let's see when this expires. Still good for this year. So we'll use that. I've got a ton of these lids. Ew. There's like spider webs everywhere. I don't have these cans anymore. They're the big food storage cans. I'm pretty sure I've used them up. I kind of hate to do it, but I think I'm just gonna throw those out. Yep. And this, I don't need that. I might use this for all the rings. I have a bunch of extra ones. I'm just checking to make sure that these have been used. I don't know if you can see the difference. I'll show you. This one has like a lip inside it. That means it's been sealed. This one does not. So these two I can put back and use again. Well, not again, but use for the first time. I obviously don't have very much room down here, so this has been a little tricky, but I think I took some extra jars from a neighbor once, and as you can see, I don't think I need any more. So I'm gonna find out what's in here. There actually might be food inside it that was really old. I think I took them because I was gonna dump them out and wash them. So let's see. This is gonna be a fun surprise. Let's see what's inside. Oh boy. I don't know what to do with these. They're perfectly good jars. They're dirty. These are way old, obviously. Oh man. I hate to throw things out. I mean, brand new lids. I don't know if you can use them after so many years. I don't know. This is a tough one. All right, let's just take them out of the box. Well, oh, I can't decide what to do. You know what? Actually, I prefer the wide mouth compared to the narrow mouth. So I do think I'm gonna keep these. And then by the end of the season, the end of the canning season, if I haven't used all the jars, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of whatever narrow mouth jars that I haven't used yet. So I gotta make some more room for these. It's a bunch of dust and stuff, but I'm just gonna leave them because I always wash and sanitize them before I use them. This is a cute little jar, a little Christmas jar, but it's been sitting down here. We got this as a gift from my parents for Christmas, so it had probably some goodies in it. Oh, I hate getting rid of jars. They're so pretty. Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one. I gotta think about that for a minute. So do you guys remember, I think it was 2020, yeah, when the pandemic hit, how you couldn't find lids like anywhere. So I ordered on Amazon. They were supposed to be the Ball brand. Yeah, I got gypped. They don't really even look like it. These are supposed to be wide mouth, they're not. And they're like total crap. So anyway, I just need to throw these out. I'm just gonna quickly throw them out. Best popcorn at Costco. Got another box here of things that need to go upstairs. I know there's quite a bit here because I just cleaned out the pantry upstairs, and I have quite a few things down here that need to go up. Ugh. This expired a year ago as well. I need to get those used up. I'm gonna take those upstairs. Boy, I haven't been doing very good about coming down here lately. These expire first. Expired a month ago. But I'm gonna still use them anyway. So we're gonna eat those. Not doing so hot. Eating up this food. We're gonna do better. See if I need anything else to go there. Don't think so. These are the cans I was talking about with the lids. So I might keep a few. I have 3 of these, so I'm going to grab 3 lids to put on top of these. I've bought in these cereal bins several times in the past, ended up not really loving them. I talked about that in my last video of my pantry upstairs. I'm just using them as little storage bins. I'm keeping bags of pasta in here, which has been working well, so I'm going to keep that. Also, this is the best pasta or spaghetti noodles from Costco. Love them. Let these expire a year ago almost. My kids said they liked them, and then they never ate them. Another shelf done. Making good progress here. All right, as you can see, I'm kind of stuck in here, so I'm gonna have to work my way out here real quick. Move a bunch of these boxes and garbage out so that I can continue working on the other side. These packs were, again, gifts from my in-laws for Christmas, and I know that they all have great food and supplies in them, and we don't really need to do anything with them, so I was just dusting up here and putting them back. Now I'm going to move on to the other wall. I'm just going to clear off this top shelf and wipe it down, and I'm putting back a bunch of my canning items. This is my steam juicer that I use for making grape juice. I have my food saver and my canner. This is a gift, again, I got from my in-laws. I just didn't really care for it, so it's going to go. I also had this food dehydrator from my mom. That was a hand-me-down, and I just have only used it once, so I'm going to get rid of that as well. These shelves are a little flimsier, they're plastic, so I decided to move all the heavier canning items down to the bottom and put the paper goods up on top and the Ziploc bags here on the second shelf. I obviously bought way too many. I didn't realize how many I had. I know that I don't have any quart ones in there, so I made a little space left for those as well. And these are some Dixie cups. I bought them years ago. I don't even know why. They're just the little ones you use in the bathroom or whatever. I'm just gonna throw those out because we never used them. I had some dishwashing tabs that I actually keep upstairs in my pantry because I have room up on the top shelf. Here I have some of our flavored syrups. I kind of wanted to put them over by the drinks, but again, I had all the jars there and I didn't want to have to rearrange. So I'm just kind of playing around here trying to figure out what to do. I'm not sure why I moved these to the other side again. Maybe it was just another one of my perfectionism things and I wanted all the canning stuff on the left. This is just a bag of a no-name brand Otter Pops that my neighbor gave me a couple years ago. We haven't used them. We don't really care for them, so they're going in the garbage. I apologize for the quality of this clip here. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a bunch of the bigger pots here, and I have a bunch of appliances that I moved down here because I don't use them upstairs. And I found this ice cream maker that I use a lot, and I'm not exactly sure what happened. Some gunk had spilled out of it and like stuck to it. I thought maybe it was leftover cream or ice cream, but I don't think it was. And I think it was something from the inside that spilled out. Anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it there and try it again. But a lot of these appliances I had upstairs in my kitchen, and it was just taking up a lot of space. They aren't items that I use often, so I decided to bring them down here to think about. And most of these I'm going to keep. The only one I'm questioning is this George Foreman grill. To this backpack, I added a couple of the extra emergency items that were just kind of floating around so that I can have them all in one pack. These 5-gallon buckets, they store my flour, my rice, my sugar, and my wheat as well. Again, I got a little lazy and hadn't actually put them inside the bins where they need to go. So here I'm just putting everything back in. I needed a new huge bag of jasmine rice, which is our favorite rice, so I'm just sticking it in. I actually don't even take it out of the bag and dump it in. I just stick the whole bag in and scoop it out from there. I bought this waffle maker and griddle several years ago to have on hand for wedding gifts, but they were actually really cheap and they're not really great quality, and I never actually gave them away, so I'm just gonna go ahead and donate those. Behind this door I have extra flooring, baseboards, and parts to bunk beds. I'm not exactly sure what to do with them, so I'm just keeping them here for now. I do like to keep some of these boxes for when I'm moving jars upstairs or back downstairs, so I just keep those here in a corner. And here I found another bin full of a bunch of stuff that I forgot about. So I did have some containers that I use for jam, which was great, but a bunch of the other items are just random pieces that I haven't used in years and don't need anymore. So I'm gonna donate those as well. And I'm just gonna keep the empty bin here in case I need it for something else. And here is my favorite part. I love to vacuum, and I love the feeling of getting up all the dirt and the spider webs and the crumbs. It just makes it feel so nice and clean.
Every moment tonight, they led me to you. Every single time you look at me, I lose it too. Why don't you come sit next to me?
I'm just gonna go ahead and give you a little tour of the final product. There you saw some of the drinks, the grape juice, and right above it, you'll see my canned tomatoes, spaghetti sauce, and a bunch of salsa still. I have some empty spots for green beans and corn. And here is all my canned meat. And then above that, I have all of my canned fruit.
One last time, let me hold you.
And here I have a couple of emergency backpacks. And here are my 5-gallon buckets with all my flour, rice, sugar. And then you'll see my huge collection again of mason jars. And here's the shelf that has all the extra appliances. And above that here are all the crackers and chips and cereals, breakfast items.
I know you don't wanna talk.
And then here are all the pastas, my noodles, and I also keep like macaroni and cheese up here if I have any, which I'm kind of low on, sometimes ramen. And then up here again are the emergency backpacks that have a lot of great supplies. On the other wall, we have the paper supplies and the Ziploc bags. And below I have canning supplies there, just a bunch of other random kind of stuff that goes with canning and the drink stuff. And then I have the big canning items here on the bottom. And then here I have my extra supplies of lunch items that go into my kids' bags upstairs. I talked about that in my video last week if you want to check that out. And then here I just kind of have some random stuff, some baking items, and I have an empty shelf here on the bottom, which is amazing. I'm so happy about how this turned out. Here is another small little section of my food storage room, and it definitely needs some work, but today was not the day. I'm gonna have to work on that another day, and hopefully that will be in the near future because it's hard to get in there as well. Here is my huge pile of all the garbage and recycling to throw away. And then I've got a bunch of donate things and a ton of stuff that needs to go upstairs to be put away. Here's a box of items that I had decluttered from upstairs, and I wondered if I wanted to keep some of it, so I kind of put it down here for time will tell, but I don't want any of it, so it's all going. So here I'm just taking some of the items that we needed to restock up in my pantry upstairs.
Wanna be free of this heart. Yeah.
And again, I'm going to go ahead and post the video of when I decluttered and organized my pantry if you want to go ahead and check that out and see how I do it.
Let's forget about tomorrow. Yeah.
Here's a quick reminder of how it looked in the beginning, a big disaster. And here you'll see the final product. It feels so amazing and I'm loving it. I love to just go down there and look at it. It feels so good. I hope that I was able to give you some motivation and inspiration today, and I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you next time.